So welcome back. We're doing some fittings for the fuel lines, and I thought I could make a video about the process. So I already have my tube mesh here, which I imported from a separate project. Maybe I could do a video about it if you're interested. Let me know about that in the comments, maybe. But today we are focusing on this fittings because we want to link this part here to this one on the upper side. So what we want to get is this kind of finish. This is anodized aluminum, and we have to model these parts here. I already have done this, so we need this and this one, which will be very similar, and then this corner part here. So let's get straight into it. At this moment, I don't need. Let me just turn off, the cam heads, and I don't need this regulator. All right, and I don't need the brother hose as well. Matter of fact, maybe I could just add this into a new collection. Let's call it brother nose hose 1. Add them there, so we could just hide that. It's not working. Why not? Oh, because we also have these to put inside here. Yeah, right. So I already said this is not lined up properly. Let's see why. Changes to medium point, cursor to selection, and then set origin to 3D cursor. All right, and then let's put it back here, maybe. Selection to cursor, right. That's a good start. So what we can do is already use this shape to obtain this other one, because this is already shaped as an hexagon. So this is already, we can use that to develop the geometry we need. So let's shift D that, P, separate selection. Actually, let me turn on my screencast keys so you can see what I'm doing. Control P. We'll see where we created this. Where are we? All right. So this is the old, this is the one. Yeah. Okay. So let's put it down here. We don't need this bit here. Yeah, I don't think we don't. Faces. This is pretty tight, but can extrude in. Actually, let's get rid of this bevel weight here. We don't need that. You just do another loop, and so EX. So this part won't be seen, so it's not important. And just add that. Actually, we'll just increase this side here, so it remain on a good shape. Let's see how it is. Yeah, this will be even closer, I guess. Maybe it's a bit, this side is a bit greater, so let's just take that and this as well, and maybe just scale it like so, just a nudge better. Okay, and then we have to model this part here, which is different. Actually, let me just do this, it will be quicker. This is a good thing to do to mark the seam, and just L on this part we don't need anymore, so X faces, and voila, we're done. But actually what's happening here is that we want initially get rid of this loop here, maybe dissolve edges, select this part and just move it along the x-axis, so we obtain this shape here. And then maybe let's see how this looks like with more control loops. We can make it, maybe we could just get rid of this bevel weight, actually all of them. Let's just put them away for a second. Let's see how it, yeah, it's way smoother. So I guess that's better for us. Maybe we could get these edges to not like so. Maybe let's see, space. No, I actually don't like it because it distorts geometry, so I think we'll leave them like so. Actually, I could get rid of them here also. Let's see. Let's just make them back. So just these parts here. Yeah. And this part inside. This will be seen, so it's better to, oops, and this have to be in bevel weight as well, because this is a thread, so it has to be sharp. Yeah, this looks pretty good. All right, so let's back out. Let's get back to the other piece. Looks good so far. Maybe we could just try to, I'm sorry, I just trying to, yeah, we have to relax maybe this parts here. Actually, I think I'll do it, I'll just speed up the process. But this is, as you can see, this is always an adjustment process. You just have to, I mean, there could be ways to do it faster, but it's just a few loops to adjust, so. All right. Okay. This is looking good, and let's see if we can tighten up this end here. Oops. We can, actually, maybe we can get rid of this. Yeah, this is better, I reckon. Yeah. So now it only is a matter of dimensioning this part here with the brother hose, which is quite thick, so maybe we have to, this will come maybe around here. So we have to scale up our hose. I can. Maybe not too much. Maybe we can just scale this thing let's see, like so, a little bit. Maybe it's this I have to scale. Yeah, this is not just the empty I have to scale to dimension my hose. And the cooler part about that is that I just have to move the path and don't worry about anything else. I just can scale it because I'm just scaling an empty, so it's not affecting the real geometry, because the actual mesh is under this array here, and as you can see, its scale is 1 no matter what, and this is the other part because it's actually a two-piece mesh combined together. And but the cool thing is it's all linked to an empty, because this empty controls the position of the array and the curve. So once I position this from one point from the start of the mesh, I just have to worry about the path, and then the geometry conforms together in a snap. So it's just very easy to work with, even if it's a very complex geometry. And I don't have to worry about anything else. So it's pretty quick to work with these hoses and tubes and complex stuff. It's really made easy. Looks pretty nice to me. Let's just turn it a little to give a little bit of randomness in this one as well. All right, and let's just apply rotation just to zero it out. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. So now what we can do is so I'll call these things nozzle 1, this nozzle 2. And now what we can do is, first of all, now to get the other part, the other end of the tube here, we have to use this shape here we made. So let's just position ourselves, and since this connector is pretty much the same as the one before that, Shift D and Shift S, select the cursor. Yeah. So where we were, let's Shift D this, X, no, Y, yeah. Let's come along here and rotate Z 30 degrees. Let's try it again, right? Z 30, yeah. So now we are right here. We clearly have to wait here. Let's see how it goes. So this looks a little off. Maybe we just need to go a little more to the right. Let's see it again. You need some try and error with this, but it's really, yeah, this looks quite good. Maybe it's a bit too long, so we just needed to see if it was working, but we need less angle, less length. So let's try it again. Maybe just a little more. Yeah. See, 2 cuts. All right. Yeah. That looks good to me. Now we can just take this part here, see the normal, medium point, or maybe just do the face. Right. and take this as a reference. And now we can just go back to extrude and then take this part and duplicate it. See if it snaps. Around our geometry. It's almost there. Now what we can do is just can merge these vertices. At last. What we can do is just ST0, and that will do. All right, so these are a piece. All right, now we just need this other part to fit here. I'll just fix this. Some more control loops. Let's save it. We got some pinching here, maybe. Let's try like that. Oh, just the normals were wrong. Okay. All right. So this part needs to be duplicated and connected to this one. So let's go here. Let's put our cursor there. Point, selection to cursor. And then we can just shift the S, selection to cursor. And then let's see if we can just align it with some almost. Let's see, RX90 minus. Yeah, that's basically it, but this needs to be here. So I'll do the 3D cursor and then cursor to selection, shift S. Yeah, now we're talking. Maybe they just need to be a little smaller though. So before we do that, we just delete these and shorten this one, which is the one we take as a reference. So faces, no, X. Wow, what am I doing? X edges. Nope. Dissolve. And we can just take this part here, box select here and shorten it. Nope, not this way. I need this one. All right. Yeah, this looks better. Now we can duplicate this. Shift D. Still, before we do that, just take this one, set the origin 3D cursor. All right, so we're now using the right part of it. Shift D. Cursor to selection. Take this one. Shift that selection to cursor. Object transform align. No, not this one. This one. Transform align RX minus 90. And that would do. Yeah. Cool. So we just now have to take on the brother hose together again. and maybe move the empty to where it's supposed to be. So because of the curve modifier, the transition along the axes are working a little funny. Or maybe I was just in the wrong, yeah. Just scale it a little bit to tuck that in. All right. That looks good. And then we have to edit the path just to make this go in quite nicely. That way. All right. Looks almost there. And we just have to, last thing to do is just set up the array to fit inside where it's not seen. And there we are. There we go. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.